It was a warm summer afternoon in California. The streets were buzzing with laughter, the ocean smelled like freedom, and the golden light made everything look like a movie scene. Liam worked at a small, cozy bookstore near the beach. He loved books, the sound of pages turning, and the quiet smiles of people finding stories they didn't know they needed. Liam was the kind of guy who made jokes about everything, even sadness. He believed that no matter how tough life gets, there's always one good reason to smile. One Tuesday, while dusting the top shelf, he heard the little bell ring at the door. He looked up, and that's when he saw her. Mia. She walked in wearing a white summer dress and sunglasses that almost covered her face. Her voice was soft when she said, "Hi, do you have the book Love Letters from Paris?" Liam smiled. "That's a sad one. Should I warn you before you start crying in chapter 3? Mia laughed, the kind of laugh that makes everything feel lighter. She said, "Maybe I need it. I'm collecting heartbreaks." And that was it, the first spark. From that day, Mia came almost every afternoon. At first, she'd ask about books. Then she'd just stay and talk. They started sharing jokes, stories, and coffee from the small cafe next door. Sometimes she'd read poems out loud. Sometimes he'd pretend to be her book doctor, suggesting the perfect story to match her mood. She once asked, "If you could be in a story, which one would you pick?" Liam said, "Any story that ends with you not leaving." Mia smiled, but didn't reply. Weeks turned into months. They'd walk together by the beach after closing time. He'd skip stones, she'd collect shells. One night, they sat watching the sunset. The sky was painted in gold and orange. Mia said quietly, "Promise me something, Liam. No matter what happens in life, never stop believing in love." He looked at her and said, "That's easy. I'll never stop, as long as you're around." She smiled. "You never know what life will do, Liam. Sometimes it takes away the people we least expect to lose." He didn't understand what she meant. Not then. Their love became stronger. They celebrated birthdays with midnight ice cream, wrote funny notes to each other on sticky pads, and left them hidden inside books. Liam even started a notebook called "Reasons Why Mia Should Marry Me Someday." Every day, he'd add something new. "She laughs with her whole heart. She makes rainy days feel like sunshine. She believes in people, even when they don't believe in themselves." But love stories never go exactly as planned. One rainy morning, Mia didn't come. No message, no call. He thought maybe she was busy, or sick, or just tired. But the next day, and the next week, nothing. Liam went to her favorite cafe. The waitress said she hadn't been there in days. He called her number. It said, "This number is no longer available." It felt like someone had taken all the words out of his life. Months passed. The bookstore felt emptier. He still kept her favorite book on the counter, hoping she'd walk in one day and smile again. He'd look out the window every evening, watching the sunset they used to watch together. Sometimes he'd whisper, "Where are you, Mia?" Almost a year later, he received a letter. The handwriting, familiar. His heart skipped a beat. It was from Mia. The letter said, "Dear Liam, if you're reading this, I guess I didn't get the chance to say goodbye. I found out last year that I was sick. I thought I had time, but life moves faster than we think. I didn't tell you because I didn't want your days to be filled with hospitals instead of hope. You once promised me that you'd never stop believing in love. Please, keep that promise.
Don't let my silence make you bitter. Love isn't meant to be perfect. It's meant to be honest. You gave me laughter when I needed it most. And if you ever miss me, just look at the sunset. I'll be there, smiling." The letter fell from his hands. He sat there for hours, saying nothing, just staring at the ocean beyond the window. When the sunset came, he walked to the beach and whispered, "I kept the promise, Mia." Years passed again. Liam never married, but he never stopped smiling either. He still ran that same bookstore, and on the counter sat a small framed note, "Believe in love." Whenever young couples came in, he'd hand them that same book, Love Letters from Paris. Inside it, he had kept Mia's letter. He would tell them, "Love isn't about how long it lasts, it's about how deeply it changes you. If you find someone who makes you laugh, even when you want to cry, that's real love." One evening, a young woman walked into the bookstore. She looked almost like Mia. Same hair, same smile, same spark. She introduced herself. "Hi, I'm Lily, Mia's sister." Liam froze for a moment. She said softly, "Mia talked about you. She said you were the kind of love story that never ends, even after goodbye." Tears filled his eyes. He smiled and said, "Then I guess she kept her promise too." Lily handed him a small box. Inside it was a shell, one of the shells Mia had collected years ago. There was a note attached. "For Liam, because some promises are meant to last beyond time." He looked at the ocean again that night, holding that shell tight. The waves came and went like memories. And in the sound of the sea, he could almost hear her voice, soft, calm, full of love. Love isn't about keeping someone forever. It's about keeping the part of them that made you better. Mia taught Liam and all of us that real love doesn't end. It just changes shape. Because true love isn't about forever. It's about faith.